Trump advisor Roger Stone is legally innocent until proven guilty. He's also quite visible until proven guilty, riding this attention for his indictment at political events like this recent speech to a whole group of Trump supporters at a Trump hotel in Washington, D.C., or the over a dozen different media appearances he's made just since his indictment in the last 2 weeks. Sometimes it looks more like he's promoting a book than defending a case, which is exactly what the judge observed in his last court appearance, saying Stone should not treat this serious criminal case, quote, like a book tour, and noting she may formally silence Stone with a legal gag order. She gave him a week to prepare the case against the gag order, and that's the subject of our report tonight, because the judge can make the decision as early as Friday. Now, whatever one thinks of Roger Stone and what he is accused of, I want to tell you tonight he actually has two good arguments against the gag order: his right to free speech and his right to work as a media personality. Now, there's another case that may actually be of use to Roger Stone. Back in 2005, Jay Leno was an official witness in the Michael Jackson child molestation trial, serious business. And he was initially given a gag order so that he was, quote, prevented from discussing it publicly. As other late-night hosts were feeding all over the news of the Jackson trial, Leno lamented the gag order hindering his job. And he emphasized the restriction by inviting other comedians to come on his show, given the gag order, and tell Michael Jackson jokes for him.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome one of these stars of Everybody Loves Raymond, two-time Emmy Award-winning actor and comedian Brad Garrett.
This was a real thing. Leno deploying these comedians to show what he saw, what he argued was the silliness of his own gag order.
Well, let me get this straight. Jackson gets the kids over to the Neverland Ranch. And by the way, if you like the Neverland Ranch, try the vinaigrette.
Salad jokes. Now, beyond late night, Leno's lawyers formally fought that gag order in court, and they won. The judge ruled, quote, it's not the court's intention to stop him from telling jokes. Now, all this might make Stone, a longtime advisor to the current president of the United States, look a little odd to be invoking an entertainer for his defense. But like him or not, that's part of what Stone's all about. And he is arguing his livelihood is at stake.
I make a living writing and speaking about politics. I would hope that the court would take that into consideration.
They would be depriving me of making a living if I am entirely gagged.
I need to be able to raise the money to mount a defense.
Stone also using his appearances, let's be clear, to defend himself and publicly counter Bob Mueller.
I am falsely accused of making false statements. I expect to be acquitted and vindicated. The indictment is thin. To storm my house with a greater force than was used to take down bin Laden. They treated me like El Chapo.
Stone has telegraphed that he is against this gag order, and he has a First Amendment attorney on his team. And tonight I want to be clear, Stone has good arguments here, both that free speech right to speak in general and defend himself, as well as what we're calling the Jay Leno argument that he ought to be able to continue his job while fighting a case with, yes, the legal presumption of innocence. Now, how will the judge actually rule? We can take a look at how she's handled other Mueller cases, because Stone has the same judge that presided over both Paul Manafort and Rick Gates's cases. She placed both of them under gag order and asked them to refrain from making statements to the media involving the case. Now, they both agreed to the gag order, while Stone has been signaling a different tack.
They're trying to criminalize political expression. I think to a great deal, this is meant to silence me.
Roger Stone has made a career out of being a self-declared dirty trickster and using the media to get what he wants. And he'll probably continue to do so in all sorts of ways through the trial. We know what Roger Stone thinks about all this kind of stuff.
The only thing I can think of worse than being talked about is not being talked about.
As I have always said, the only thing worse than being talked about is not being talked about.
He's been very clear for a long time. He's all about what people say. And many people don't like what Mr. Stone says. But the reason he has good arguments on the gag order is all of this should not be about what Roger Stone says. He should be allowed to speak, and ultimately the case should turn on what he did or didn't do. Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.